I am AKB from the Department of Mathematics, Vishwabharati. Today we discuss Module 3 of Chapter 5. In this module, we will characterize the special properties of the polynomials over a field. Such polynomials share many interesting properties with the ring of integers. Most of the results of this module can be deduced as particular cases of the results presented in Chapter 7. Still, I would like to discuss these results in a separate module for two reasons. The first reason is that to make the student familiar with an abstract structure having similar properties with the ring of integers. And the second reason is that in the field theory, the results regarding polynomial we will need the mostly are on fields. Here we show that the polynomials over fields shares division algorithm, concepts like prime integers, fundamental theorem of arithmetic and existence of GCD just like integers. First, I show that if f is a field, then every ideal in f(x) is a principal ideal. That is, every ideal of f(x) is generated by some single polynomial. I will prove this using Weyl ordering principle of natural numbers and the division algorithm in the polynomial ring over a field. Suppose I is an ideal of f(x). If I is the 0 ideal, then trivially it is generated by 0. So, let us consider a non-zero ideal I. How to apply the Weyl ordering principle on to prove this result? So, to apply Weyl ordering principle, first of all I have to construct a non-empty set of natural numbers. So, naturally here we can associate a natural number with every polynomial, with every non-zero polynomial as the degree of the polynomial. So, first we consider the set n of all degree f(x), where f(x) is a non-zero polynomial in I. Since I has been considered as a non-zero ideal, so there must be a non-zero polynomial f(x) in I, and consequently n becomes non-empty. So, it has the least element which is associated with a polynomial, say dx, and hence dx becomes a polynomial of I with the least degree. Since dx is in I and I is an ideal, so the ideal generated by dx is a subset of I. For the reverse inclusion, consider an arbitrary element f(x) from I. Now, to show that f(x) is a multiple of dx, let us divide f(x) by dx. Since we have considered here field, so the leading coefficient of dx must be unit, and hence by the division algorithm we have two polynomials qx and rx such that f(x) is equal to dx into qx plus rx, where either rx is 0 or degree of rx must be less than degree of dx. We actually prove that Rx must be 0. If Rx is non-zero, then Rx equal to Fx minus Dx into Qx. Since Fx and Dx both are in I, so Fx minus Dx into Qx is also in I, that is Rx belongs to I, and then degree of Rx is less than degree of Dx contradicts the fact that Dx is a polynomial in I with least degree. So, it follows that Rx must be 0, and hence Fx becomes a multiple of Dx, that is Fx belongs to the ideal generated by Dx. Thus, I becomes a subset of the ideal generated by Dx, and we get I is the ideal generated by Dx. Thus, we prove that every ideal of Fx is a principal ideal. Suppose Fx and Gx are two polynomials in Fx, not both 0. Consider the ideal generated by Fx and Gx. Just now we have proved that every ideal of Fx is a principal ideal. So, we must have some non-zero polynomial Dx. Note that I have taken Fx and Gx such that not both 0. So, the ideal generated by Fx and Gx must be a non-zero ideal. So, their generator Dx cannot be 0. So, Dx is a non-zero polynomial which generates the ideal generated by Fx and Gx. Then both Fx and Gx belongs to the ideal generated by Dx, which implies that Dx divides Fx and Dx divides Gx. Thus, we get a common divisor Dx of the two polynomials Fx and Gx. In this way, we prove that if we consider two polynomials Fx and Gx not both 0, then Fx and Gx always have a common divisor Dx. And it is easy to observe that if Cx is a divisor of Dx, then Cx divides Fx and Cx divides Gx. Thus, given two polynomials Fx and Gx not both 0 may have several common divisors. Among all these common divisors, we want to point out some unique one, just similar to the GCD of two integers. Recall that GCD of two integers is the greatest among all common divisors. So, if we here want to specify some common divisor uniquely in an analogous way, just as in the ring of integers, the problem we face first is that in the ring of all polynomials over a field, there is no natural or standard partial ordering with respect to which we can specify one as greatest among all common divisors. So, how can we define the greatest common divisor of two polynomials? Here we define GCD of two polynomials in this way. Suppose Fx and Gx be two polynomials not both 0. Then a polynomial Dx in Fx is said to be a greatest common divisor of Fx and Gx if Dx is a monic polynomial, Dx is a common divisor of Fx and Gx, and if Cx is a common divisor of Fx and Gx, then Cx must divide Dx. The condition 1 and condition 2 are very much analogous to the conditions we use to define GCD of two integers, but why here dx is considered to be monic? Here note that the condition 1 is actually ensures that dx is a common divisor of f(x) and gx, and condition 2 ensures that the degree of dx is greatest among all the common divisors. But there may be several dx, d1x, d2x and so on having greatest degree and have the quality to be common divisors of f(x) and gx. Recall that in an integral domain, if a divides b and b divides a, then the relation between a and b is that b is a multiple, unit multiple of a. Since in z there are only two units -1 and 1, if we restrict ourselves only to the positive divisors, there arises no problem. But in the polynomial ring f(x), since every non-zero element of f is a unit, so there may be several common divisors of greatest degree having all these properties. That is why we restrict ourselves only to the polynomials, only to the common divisors of greatest degree which has the leading coefficient 1, just to make the common divisor having all these properties becomes unique. Now, let us prove formally that greatest common divisor of two polynomials f(x), gx in f(x) not both 0 is unique. And also note that though I have already given the definition, still now I have not proved the existence of GCD. Now, I prove existence and uniqueness of GCD. Suppose f(x) and gx be two polynomials in f(x) not both 0. Then greatest common divisor of f(x), gx exists in f(x) and it is unique. Moreover, if dx is the greatest common divisor of f(x), gx, then there exist two polynomials ux, vx in f(x) such that dx is equal to f(x) into ux plus gx into vx. That is, dx becomes a combination of f(x) and gx, which is known as Bezout's identity for the polynomials. Here also, first we consider the ideal I generated by f(x) and gx. Thus, I becomes the collection of all polynomials of the form f(x) into rx plus gx into sx, where rx and sx runs over f(x). Also, it is a non-zero ideal since f(x), either f(x) or gx must be non-zero. Since f is a field, we know that every ideal of f(x) is principal. Hence, we must have some polynomial d1x, suppose it is a0 plus a1x plus so on plus an x to the power n, and also we assume an to be non-zero such that I is generated by d1x. Since f is a field, so an inverse exists in f, and consider the polynomial dx to be an inverse into d1x. Actually, the motivation behind doing so is to choose a monic polynomial having same degree as d1x, so that the ideal I is generated by dx. We show that dx is a greatest common divisor of f(x) and g(x). First note that since ideal generated by f(x) and g(x) is also generated by dx, it follows that dx is a common divisor of both f(x) and g(x). Now, dx belongs to the ideal generated by f(x) and g(x) implies that there are two polynomials ux and vx such that dx can be expressed as f(x) into ux plus gx into vx. Now, to prove that dx is divisible by every other common divisors of f(x) and g(x), let us consider a common divisor hx. Since hx divides f(x) and hx divides gx, it divides f(x) into ux plus gx into vx, that is hx divides f(x). Thus, we see that dx is a monic polynomial, dx is a common divisor of f(x) and gx, and dx is divisible by every other common divisors of f(x) and gx. So, it follows from the definition that dx is a greatest common divisor of f(x) and gx. Now, to show that dx is unique, for this consider a greatest common divisor cx of f(x) and gx. Then, if we consider dx to be greatest common divisor and cx to be a common divisor, then it follows from the definition that cx divides dx. Similarly, if we reverse the role of cx and dx, then dx divides cx. And since f(x) is an integral domain, it follows that dx is equal to a into cx, where a belongs to f star, that is a is a non-zero element of f, in other words a constant polynomial. But recall that in the definition we have taken GCD to be monic. So, both cx and dx are monic, and hence if we compare their leading coefficients, it will imply that a must be 1. Thus, it follows that cx equal to dx, and thus we proved that GCD of two polynomials over a field exists and it is unique. Also, in the proof we have shown that GCD dx is expressible in the form of f(x) into ux plus gx into vx. Now, let us consider this example. Consider two polynomials f(x) and gx, where f(x) is 2 into x minus 1 into x minus 2 and gx is 2 into x minus 2 into x minus 3. And consider the polynomials over R. In our school days, to find GCD of f(x) and gx, we always wrote GCD f(x) and gx to be 2 into x minus 2. But note that when the polynomials are considered over a field, then the GCD must be monic. So, here the GCD is x minus 2, not 2 into x minus 2. Actually, it will be 2 into x minus 2 if we consider polynomials over z in place of R. Details of this theory will be discussed in chapter 7, 4th module. Now, let us define relatively prime polynomials. If f(x) and gx are two polynomials, not both 0, then we will define f(x) and gx to be relatively prime or prime to each other if their GCD is 1. Now, we prove that two polynomials f(x) and gx are relatively prime if and only if one can be expressed as f(x) into ux plus gx into vx for some ux vx in f(x). Here note that the necessary part follows from the theorem where we proved existence and uniqueness of GCD. Now, we have to prove only the sufficient part. For this, first assume that one is expressible as f(x) into ux plus gx into vx, where ux and vx are in f(x). And we note we have proved that if f(x) and gx are two non-zero polynomials in f(x), then they must have the GCD. Assume that dx is the GCD of f(x) and gx. Then dx divides f(x) and dx divides gx, which together implies that dx divides f(x) into ux plus gx into vx, and so dx divides 1. Since dx is monic, it follows that dx must be 1, and thus f(x) and gx becomes relatively prime. Now, we consider the polynomials f(x), which cannot be expressed as product of two polynomials gx into hx, where both degree of gx and degree of hx are strictly smaller than degree of f(x). We want to characterize such polynomials for introducing an analogous idea to the prime integers. We have a theorem, you know, the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, which states that every integer greater than 1 is either a prime integer or can be expressed as a product of prime integers uniquely up to the order of the prime factors. Now, we will examine, is there any analogous result analogous to the fundamental theorem of arithmetic? We show that every non-constant polynomial over a field can be expressed uniquely as a product of irreducible polynomials. Now, let us define irreducible polynomials. Suppose f is a field, a non-constant polynomial f(x) of degree n is defined to be irreducible over f if f(x) cannot be expressed as gx into hx, where degree of gx is strictly less than n and degree of hx is strictly less than n. Otherwise, f(x) is said to be reducible. Note that since we have considered f to be a field, if a is the leading coefficient of f(x), then always it is possible to write f(x) equal to a into some polynomial f(1x), or for any non-zero element b in f, always we can write f(x) to be b into b inverse f(x). If we take gx to be b and hx to be b inverse f(x), then we always have some factorization, but we are not interested in such factorizations where one polynomial is constant, and that is why we restrict ourselves only to the factorizations where degree of gx and degree of hx must be strictly smaller than n. Also, you should recall the fact we used in the proof that every ideal of f x is principal. The fact I want to point out is that in this proof the degree plays the role of the numerical value of the integers. In the definition of prime integers, we also defined in the way that a integer p is a prime integer if p cannot be expressed as bc, where both b and c have numerical value strictly smaller than p. So, here the definition should be in this way. Now, we show that the irreducible polynomials behave alike prime integers. Suppose f is a field and p x is a polynomial in f x. We prove that p x is irreducible if and only if p x divides f x into g x implies either p x divides f x or p x divides g x. First, we prove the sufficient part of the result. For this, assume that p x divides f x into g x. If p x divides f x, then we have done. So, assume also p x does not divide f x, and then p x being irreducible, we have GCD of p x and f x must be 1, and since their GCD is 1, so 1 can be expressed as p x into u x plus f x into v x for some u x v x in f x. Multiply g x to both sides of the identity. Then p x divides f x and g x implies that p x divides the right hand side of g x equal to p x into g x u x plus f x g x b x, and hence we have p x must divide g x. Now, we prove the converse, that is, p x is a polynomial which satisfies the condition. We are to show that p x is an irreducible polynomial. For this, suppose that p x is a product of two polynomials f x and g x. We show that either of degree f x and degree g x must be equal to degree p x. Now, the given condition implies that either p x divides f x or p x divides g x. Without loss of any generality, assume that p x divides f x. Then degree of p x is less than equal to degree of f x, which is less than equal to degree of f x plus degree of g x, and then p x equal to f x into g x implies that degree of f x plus g x is less than equal to degree of p x, which implies that degree p x is equal to degree f x. Similarly, if p x divides g x, then degree p x becomes equal to degree g x. Thus, we see that p x is an irreducible polynomial. Now, we show that every non-constant polynomial is a product of irreducible polynomials. For this, we first prove the existence of such a factorization, and next we prove the uniqueness. We prove the existence of such factorization by the principle of mathematical induction on degree f x. If degree 1, then f x is of the form a x plus b, where a is non-zero. Since f is a field, so A inverse exists in f, and x plus A inverse b becomes a monic and irreducible polynomial over f. Thus, we have a factorization of f(x) as f(x) equal to A into x plus A inverse b. Now, assume that f(x) is a polynomial of degree n greater than 1 and leading coefficient a, and make our induction hypothesis as the result holds for every non-constant polynomial of degree less than n. If f(x) is irreducible, then A inverse f(x) is irreducible and monic polynomial, and we have A into A inverse f(x) as a desired factorization of f(x). If f(x) is reducible, then f(x) can be expressed as a product g(x) into h(x), where degree g(x) must be less than degree f(x) and degree h(x) is also strictly less than degree f(x). By induction hypothesis, both g(x) and h(x) has some irreducible factorizations, and ultimately we get a factorization of f(x). To prove uniqueness of the factorization, suppose A into p1x, p2x, pmx is equal to b into q1x, q2x and qnx, where A and b are two non-zero constants in f and all pi and qi are monic and irreducible polynomials. Since all pi and qi are monic, it follows directly that A and b are equal. Let us cancel them from both sides. Then we get p1x, p2x, pmx is equal to q1x, q2x, qnx. Now, q1x divides p1x, p2x, pmx implies that by the irreducibility of q1x, either of p1x, p2x and pmx is divisible by q1x. Say q1x divides p1x. It is easy to prove by the facts that both p1 and q1 are irreducible and monic that p1x must be equal to q1x. Let us cancel them from both sides and we get p2x dot 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 pmx and q2x, q3x and so on qnx. Continuing cancellation of irreducible factors, we will get both m and n are equal, and after reindexing we will get pix is equal to qix. Thus, in this module we see that every ideal in the polynomial ring f(x), where f is a field, is principal. We proved that if f(x) and g(x) are two polynomials not both 0, then GCD of f(x), g(x) exists and it is unique. Again, I would like to remind you that here in the definition of GCD, we have to restrict ourselves only to the monic common divisors. Also, we have introduced a new concept, namely irreducibility of polynomials or irreducible polynomials, which is analogous to the concept of prime integers. And finally, we have proved that every non-constant polynomial can be expressed as a product of a unit and monic irreducible polynomials uniquely. Though I have not discussed the division algorithm here, you must recall that we have proved the division algorithm in the previous modules.